Meanwhile, in Africa, efforts to continue to help countries produce enough food for themselves, the Economic Community of West African States, or ECOWAS, is working to increase profits for farmers and distribute food to areas affected by drought. VOA West Africa correspondent Scott Stearns has that story.
West African leaders have a comprehensive agriculture development program to support private sector investment in family farms, make those goods more competitive on international markets, and guarantee food security within the regional alliance. Sheila Sisulu is the Deputy Executive Director of the UN World Food Programme.
They're taking the lead in determining and making sure that food security and agriculture are front and center of their priorities. I think that's a great step forward.
Sisulu says the UN can help ECOWAS determine how best to move food within the region from producers to those facing hunger.
The other is, of course, our capacity to do vulnerability analysis and mapping, and also early warning systems, so that the governments are able, collectively through ECOWAS, to know where the crisis might hit, where the response might come from, and how to coordinate that so that they prevent crises.
This year, West Africa's biggest food crisis is in Niger, where 60% of the population are facing severe food shortages because of poor rains. The World Food Programme is targeting more than 1.5 million people for a general food distribution, and as many as 500,000 children under the age of 6 for specialized therapeutic feeding. Relief officials say feeding programs are now reaching most of the people at risk, but there are not yet enough contributions from foreign donors to keep that going through the lean season between harvests.
The international community has stepped up, and the government in Niger has taken responsibility and is very, very responsive to the assistance that they're being provided, that they have called for and they are getting. However, from a WFP PAM point of view, we still are short of resources, and we would hope that, especially as we are really going into the lean season going forward and heightened hunger, that we would be able to get the resources in.
Across the Sahel, relief officials say 10 million people could be affected by food shortages this year. The UN says more than 850,000 children are at risk of severe malnutrition, mostly in Niger and Chad. Poor farmers in Niger, Chad, and northeastern Mali will likely need food assistance at least through the harvests in August. Scott Stearns, VOA News, Dakar.
Now, for more information on any of today's stories, please visit us online at voaafrica.com.